Bismillah. Just wait a couple of seconds for us to check that it's live, but I think that it already is. So if it is, welcome. Bismillah wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Welcome to this session in the Muslimah Writers Summit 2022. This is going to be a knowledge sharing session, otherwise known as a workshop. So I'm going to be sharing how to build author platform. So we're teaching, we're not doing a lot of talking and chatting, although we are going to do some talking and chatting in this session. I've got my co-host Tumkeen here, mashallah, who's very familiar with this material, and we're going to be sharing notes, like swapping notes on things that I share in the workshop. But basically, this, if you are an author or are or have something that you want to publish, and you would like more book sales, if you would like more readers to know about your work, you'd like more people to know about your work, then this workshop is for you, all right? And this is one of the workshops that I share with the Amplify Mastermind, which is our group of authors, Muslim authors who write in all sorts of different genres, and they get support from myself and my team to edit, to publish, to promote, to launch and sell and distribute their books, inshallah. So with that being said, Assalamu alaikum, Tumkeen, are you ready?
Alaikum assalam, yes I am.
Yay. All right, let me just get the right thing up for us here. We need our slides. Yes, we are using slides today. And I'll just share the screen on that, and Bismillah, let's go. So let me move this out of the way if I can.
If I may add, I think everyone should save this video too, to go back to refer, because I think it's so golden in its advice. So
it will be there on YouTube, inshallah, so they can access it as many times as they like, inshallah. Okay, Bismillah. So this workshop is about author list building. Okay, we're going to talk about the terms that I use. You know, what is list building? I've mentioned already that this is perfect for you, whether you are a children's author or writing for teens or adults, whether you're writing fiction or non-fiction, poetry or anthology. If you're an author, then this is information that you need, especially in today's world. Okay, the way that books work nowadays is that an author requires a platform, and as Tim Grohl says, an author platform is a direct connection to your audience that allows you to predictably and reliably, inshallah, sell books. Okay, so that's when we say author platform, it's basically a connection to your audience. Okay, a direct connection to your audience. Now, Tumkeen, people will probably be surprised to kind of realize that up until fairly recently, most authors did not have direct connection to their readers, right? Before social media, authors would maybe go on tour and they would meet their author, meet the people who had read their books, if they come out for a reading or something like that. But a direct connection, unless the fan was somebody who was kind of like writing them letters and that type of thing, they didn't know who these fans were. They would not have a way of accessing these fans, and they certainly couldn't communicate with them on a regular basis until the advent of blogging, of email, and of social media, right? So things have changed.
MashaAllah. Yeah, they've changed, and they've changed in favor of the author, where there's a lot more tools to be connected to your reader, and to know even feedback from them. What's working with them, what's not. And so I think it's a great time to be an author. Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, no, definitely it is. And this is also something to remember for all of you who are thinking, well, I'm not self-published, I have a publisher, so do I really need a direct connection with my audience? Well, we're going to answer that question in this session, inshallah. All right, so what this workshop is about how to build a name for yourself as an author, how to build a market for your books, how to go about selling more books and touching more lives and getting more opportunities to connect and share your message. And the great thing about this platform is that if you take the time and you make the effort to build a platform, you actually become more attractive to publishers. So this isn't for you only if you're interested in self-publishing, but even if your aim is to be traditionally published, if you have an author platform, you're just that much more attractive to publishers. And Tumkeen, we've talked about this many times before, right. And I would riddle the audience to see if you can say in the comments why you think that might be. And Tumkeen's going to tell you the answer. Why does an author platform make an author more attractive to publishers?
Well, it makes us more accessible, right? It makes us more accessible to the publishers. It makes us more accessible to to everyone out there. And then also it shows how much what you're bringing in, right? If we listened yesterday to Najia Maxwell from Daybreak Press, and she was saying she had some golden advice there, that when she was saying that, you know, even as someone who's traditional publisher, they see how much you can bring, right? And they can see how much you are, how many people follow you, how many people you have as your potential readers or buyers, as you could say. Exactly.
So you're just a more attractive investment.
Right.
Sorry to say it that way, guys, but with publishers, really, bottom line, that's what it comes down to. If they take you on, it's because they believe that they can sell your book, right? Otherwise, they don't typically take you on. And a part of that is, do you have an audience of your own? Do you have potentially readers that they haven't yet accessed? That's another thing as well, you know, and
right.
especially for, you know, anybody from the Muslim community who is writing a book that may have some appeal for Muslim families, Muslim moms, dads, children, whoever. The publisher may not necessarily have a huge, you know, have access to a huge Muslim market, but if they see that you already have some kind of audience, you already have some kind of, you know, respect and trust within the Muslim community, then that's for them a way for them to go into a new market. So that's something else as well. All right. So first up, we're going to talk about my favorite darling, which is email. And I just want to say at this point, I have been talking about this since 2018, I believe. But the number of people, service providers, creatives, social media influencers, if you want to call them that, who do not have a mailing list is still too high. People still think that it's about the gram, that it's about, well, not Facebook anymore because Facebook is right? But people still think it's about vanity metrics, right, Tumkeen? People still are getting asked about numbers of followers, number of likes, number of shares, right?
Right.
And really, Tumkeen, come on, just take away this. Talk to them about this thing, right?
Yes, guilty.
What's wrong with us putting in effort into just building our online platforms? Because that's what people do. And I bet when people heard author platform, they thought we were going to talk about building your social media, right?
Right.
What's your perspective on that?
Well, as you famously quoted someone else as saying, you don't build a home on borrowed land, right? And so Instagram followers don't belong to you; they belong to Instagram. And so once your account closes, and this unfortunately has happened too many times recently, where accounts get closed or they get taken, or somebody hacks into them, it's gone. Your followers are gone, everything is gone. And so your email list is yours still. And that is priceless, especially speaking from someone who thought that Instagram presence and Facebook presence was all the rage. It wasn't, because when the book was coming out, as a published author, and if I didn't have that email, there was nothing. I had nothing to respond to. Whereas for those who had my email, they got the information right away. I had a close connection with them, a direct connection with them. So it's your property, basically.
Yeah. And subhanAllah, I'm very, very happy that, you know, somebody kind of pulled my coat in the early days of coming online. Not early, not when I was on Facebook, not even when I came onto Instagram, but when I started going into digital marketing and thinking about having an online course and that type of thing. That's when I learned the importance of email and building my mailing list. And alhamdulillah, through all the work that we've been doing, even summits like this, you know, my courses, you know, webinars and all that kind of thing, the list has grown to over 20,000, mashallah. But that's literally in the last few years. Right. If I had known about email when I first came onto Facebook, we'd be looking at different numbers altogether. But alhamdulillah, better late than never. What people need to understand is that it's never too late to start building your list, and email is still the gold. So unlike social media, blogging, or YouTube even, the email is really your only direct line of communication, because everything else relies on the algorithm. The algorithm is what selects what people see on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Google, which means your blog as well. you're at the mercy of the algorithm and of SEO, right? Search engine optimization. And if you're not really that savvy on those things, or just the algorithm doesn't like your content for whatever reason, you cannot reach all the people who have said that they like your stuff. I'm sure you guys are aware of this. You post stuff, maybe you've got 10,000 followers, 5,000 followers, but you're only getting like 5, 10 likes, 100 likes. And you're like, hold on a minute, 100 people, 1,000 people, 5,000 people said that they follow me and they like me. How come so few people are seeing my stuff? That, my dear friends, is the algorithm. So, as I say here, having large followings on social media platforms literally is worthless unless you are establishing your line of communication with your potential readers. That's really what social media platforms should be used for, to bring people into your home. And I'll talk about that a little bit more later. But the email, getting their email address, is them giving you permission to communicate directly with them and build a much stronger relationship of value and trust with your audience. And for sure, it's one of the most overlooked areas and it's the most vital, right? So don't make that mistake, guys. Tumkeen, anything to offer on that?
No, I was just going to say it's like a long-term investment into your yourself as an author. Like you want to be taken seriously and you want to be considered an author and sell like an author, then you have to the email is the way to go. Whereas what happened to Instagram, and I like, we post things, but they're gone by tomorrow, by 24 hours, not even sometimes it's gone. And it's not a long-term investment. It's like a quick thing. So quick fix. So
definitely. Alhamdulillah. Okay, let's go. Let's keep it moving. Yeah. Can I go to the next one? Can I? Will it let me go? Ooh. Oh, okay. Maybe not. Let's see if it will let me go down. Okay. So people may be wondering, okay, fine. We hear you. Maybe email is important. Okay. Maybe we should be looking at gathering emails, but how are we supposed to do that, right? They may say, I'm not selling my book yet. I don't have any services to offer. How can I get people's emails? Okay. So just before I share this next piece, I just want to ask everybody who's watching this, how you registered for this summit. If you're like most people, you saw an ad somewhere on Instagram, Facebook, maybe you got an email, you clicked on a link, and then you went to a page. And on that page, all the information about the summit was presented, and there was a space for you to sign up. When you were signing up, you gave us your name and your email address, and you clicked submit. Now, just a secret, what happens after that, in case you don't know, your email is entered onto a list. In this case, it's entered onto the summit list. And now you are on my mailing list. In Europe, we tick the GDRP box to allow communication. And now that you are on my list, you've registered for the summit, but now I have your email and I have permission to communicate directly with you. So as long as you open my emails, you and I can stay in touch, right? And just as you email me just as I email you, you can email me, okay? Now, how did I get you to give me your email address? Well, I offered you something, right? I had a magnet. I had a way to draw you towards my list. And in this case, it was a summit, but lead magnets come in many different shapes and sizes, okay? So let's get our language right. A lead magnet is an irresistible bribe, like a summit, offering a specific chunk of value to a prospect in exchange for their contact information. The goal of the lead magnet is to maximize the number of targeted leads that you are getting for an offer, okay? So we don't just say to people, like I have seen happening before, join my mailing list, right? Or send me your email or give me your email and I'll send you cool stuff. That doesn't really work anymore. Nobody's really interested in signing up for people's mailing list because most of us are on too many mailing lists, right? Tumkeen, what are your thoughts on this?
Right. So just like how you would not sign on to those things, how we just swipe past it when we go to a website, people will swipe past ours. And so if you're not reacting to it, I think the other way with the same thing with people, they're not going to react to it as well. So what does work is something that is great and it doesn't feel like a bribe. It feels more like I'm getting something for my email. So I'm signing on to a newsletter that has all of your great information, or I like the Motivational Monday emails that Naima sends, and they really inspire me. So I'm giving her my email address so that she comes to my door basically with something that of value to me too.
Yeah. And the thing is that I would never have invited people to sign up to get inspirational emails. Like that for me, guys, I'm sorry, that's not a lead magnet, because who wants more email? Does anyone? Like I don't. I definitely don't want more email, right?
Right.
But maybe I want access to a summit. Maybe I want an ebook that is on offer, right? Maybe I want a free training course, or maybe I want the webinar. That is what is actually
like
attracting
an insider
me.
scoop. Yeah,
right,
like an insider news, insider scoop type thing, right?
Exactly. And what's really happening with, for example, my Monday motivation emails is that is me nurturing and basically giving you a gift for having taken the first offer, which was a gift at the end of the day, right? So the motivational emails, those are really just to say thank you, and to continue to provide value to the people who are on the list, so that they are happy to hear from you, right? But we're going to talk about this more, because this is the whole premise of this is being of benefit, right? So even as authors, being of benefit to the people on whose list we are, right? So I'm going to stop this share for a second, because for some reason it is not moving the way that I want it to, and I'm not happy with it. So I'm going to tell it to just take a chill pill for a second, and then we're going to come back in, inshallah.
Sure.
So lead magnets, as I said, so many different kinds of lead magnets, and the first one that we're going to go into is the downloadables. Okay, now downloadables, again, I mentioned one of them, that's like an ebook. Okay, but as authors, that could be many things. We always get our clients to, for example, offer a free a sneak peek at their chapter. To, if they have a book that's coming out, then we get them to offer people the chance to be one of the first to read it. So a sneak peek, a sneak chapter, maybe an extra chapter that's not in the book, something extra that is not available anywhere else. Okay, ebooks, guides, checklists, notes, even stationery, these can all work very well. And
for children,
Tumkeen, have you used any of these when you're building your list?
I have an ebook. I have an ebook out, and yes, it worked more beautifully than other things. I've tried different things, but the ebook has definitely resonated best with people, and it also gave people a sample to, before they invest in you as a writer, as a poet, to have that ebook is like, okay, I like her stuff, she resonates with me, and they can further invest into that. I was going to add, for children's book authors, a great downloadable would be like a coloring page, PDF, activity book stuff, and those are great for children's books. And I know that resonates with me as a reader with my children.
Definitely, 100%. So basically, you're looking at, who's my audience for my books, and how can I serve them? What do they want from me? What do I have to offer them? How can I serve them? So for example, my market is writers. So this is an example of another writer. This is not one of mine. I don't think it's one of mine. It could be. Hold on. Maybe it is. We definitely did one of these. But this is on another writer's website where they have a challenge going on. And when people sign up for a challenge, obviously that is a lead magnet. But in this case, they have a pop-up on the site which offers you a 10-step guide to becoming a writer. All right. So obviously you can see, you enter your email address, you say, send me the guide. That was the magnet. And so now you're on that person's mailing list. All right. So that's downloadables. So take a moment to think about your market, or your potential market, your people. Yeah. If you don't like the word market, it's fine. Your people, your tribe, your potential readers.
Your readers.
Is there anything, exactly, right? Is there anything that you could create that would be of benefit to them? Okay, that would help them, that would be useful, right? That they can easily download. You can save it as a PDF and they can just download that. Have a think. Another thing that I've used with great success is email series, right? And this could be serialized stories. It could be a video series, a training series. I've used audio series as well, an email course. All of these are fantastic magnets because it's real value, right? We're not here sending people nonsense. We're not here sending people fluff to just clog up their email. You want to take time to create something that is truly valuable, that will give them benefit, like you said about with a coloring book for children's authors, or even like in the case of the downloadables, a guide to the top 10 new Muslim children's books that have come out, or how to find Muslim children's books in the library, or how to ask for your library to order more Muslim children's books. These are ways that you can guide your people with things that they may be struggling with. Tumkeen, have you tried any of these, of the email series?
You know what? No, I have not. And I think that I used to believe that it was a longer investment in time and energy to do that. But I think that if you plan it out wisely, it could be done very successfully. And I've lacked in this one, and this is where I always get stuck. But I'm taking notes too.
Alhamdulillah, that's all good. These are all examples, because Jeff Goins, mashallah, was one of the first people that I learned a lot of this stuff from. And if you go on any writer's website, and anyone who's offering a service or a product, guys, now that you've seen this, you can't unsee it. You will start to see this everywhere. There's either a pop-up or there's a box. You can see here, Jeff Goins has got a free guide on growing your blog audience. He's offering you that. Kia is offering updates. You can see she's got competition information, content, new books. Hind Higazi, a first chapter of Behind the Picket Fences, which was her book. So you can see that this is something that people do, right? And whenever you go online now, keep an eye out for it. And if you like any of the ideas that you see, feel free to just snatch them. If you like something that I've done, you think, oh, that was really cool. Yeah, I could do something similar to that. Do it. I took it from someone else. Tumkeen, I'm sure, copied somebody else, right. Because these ideas are more or less like public property, really. Just don't plagiarize. That's what I would say. Yes. Now, this challenge is a super cool one. And one of our clients, Isra, talked about this a night or two ago, because she had a decluttering challenge in preparation for Ramadan. Again, a challenge is something that people sign up for. It could be a reading challenge. It could be a writing challenge. It could be a lifestyle challenge, whether it's, we've got our 10 minutes a day writing challenge in Ramadan. We've got people who do like a walk a mile a day challenge for 7 days. A gratitude challenge. We've done those before as well. Loads of different challenges out there, and those are really great if you want to build a community, because typically this is great for authors who, as I said, who offer product or specialty services. So authors who have some kind of service, right? They have a coaching business, or they have a consulting business, or they have courses or something like this, and they also have a book. Getting people to take action on what you're teaching in your book, like taking action right away and seeing results in the challenge, can be a really great way to bring them into your community, introduce them to your work. You can sell the book off the back of that, but hopefully they will also sign up for any coaching or consulting or support that you offer. So that's like a 5-star tip that you guys can take if you are one of those people who offers, products and especially services.
Yeah, I was going to add also that you have to think outside the box. So for someone like me who doesn't have another business or another work related thing, I have to look outside the box. So if my memoir, for example, is about 5, 6, 10 different topics, what I can do to kind of introduce people to the topics that are being discussed in my book and bring that attention in while also creating a challenge for it.
Yeah, exactly. I love that. And again, you said that is outside the box, and we like that. We like that a lot. And really, when it comes to lead magnets, that thinking outside the box that you mentioned is actually really important, because you want to bring something that hasn't been done and seen 100 times before, that not everyone is doing. Bring something exciting. People like exciting things, new things, what we're like. So, coming up with something like that is a really, really good idea. And it's exciting for you as well. And it helps you communicate with your, right? And allows you to build that deeper connection with them, inshallah.
Right.
All right, what else have we got here? We've got, This is another challenge. We were inspired by this challenge, and this was a 500 word a day challenge. 500 words for 31 days, and I think we based our 500 challenge on this by another writer out there, mashallah. See here, a flash fiction challenge, which you sign up and you get a prompt for every day. She may have a community behind it where people who are part in the challenge can meet and talk and swap notes and stuff like that. NaNoWriMo is a great challenge that people sign up for. I think we did a Muslim version, something like that, where we have a
Ramadan,
month where we just have Muslim writers just. Yes, we did. That was inspired by the one that I shared earlier, mashallah. Cool. All right. So another way to build your list, and we've kind of talked about this already actually, is building a community. So not only can you build a community behind a challenge that you are running or something like that, but also building and tapping into book clubs, interest groups, review or study circles that you are bringing together, right? Basically, I loved what this particular author did, Nomi, because when her new book came out, she decided to make a grand gesture to create a big buzz about her book. And she decided to visit 100 book clubs across the country to discuss her book with readers. And those book club visits were physical and virtual via Skype. And at the end of her campaign, she had been hosted by 138 book clubs, 68 via Skype. Now, you can imagine the impact of that if people had to sign up for something like that. You know, all the people that she's now met who have seen her, heard her, had her read from her book, had her talk about the book itself. You know, through these 138 book clubs, I have no idea how many new fans she built and how many new readers she welcomed into her world. So, you know, I think that's a I really found that a very inspiring example of that. Have you had a chance to be invited into anyone's like communities, Tumkeen, as an author in order to talk about your book, etc.?
I haven't been able to be invited yet as a speaker, but my book has been like people have reached out to me to have their book, the book in their classrooms and to discuss in their schools and stuff. So, alhamdulillah, that's been great.
I love that. So this is going into this next thing now, and we kind of touched on this before. A fantastic way to build your list if you are somebody who has something to share, either related to the book's topic or the process of creating the book. I'm going to say that again, because training can be offered either on the topic of the book itself. So if we take, for example, Farah Duale's book on infertility, on coping with infertility, she can totally offer masterclasses on the topic, webinars on the topic, and run workshops on the topic. And even if these are all free, people sign up for those trainings, which means that she is building a list of people who are interested in the topic of infertility. And her book is about infertility, so it makes complete sense. Now, if you have a book on a particular topic and you, for example, your book is about body image, right? Maybe you don't want to teach about body image. Maybe it's a memoir, right? Maybe you're sharing your story. However, I say to my clients, if you've got the time and you've got the passion, why don't you bring together a masterclass with someone else who can speak on this, or even put together some kind of seminar series, or do, host a podcast, or create a summit where you bring in other people to speak on the topic of body image on the platform of you as somebody who wrote a book about body image. Does that make sense, Tumkeen? What do you think of that as an idea?
Yeah, I think that's a wonderful idea. And so many times people do it and we don't even know that we're part of that author platform building stuff. We're just like, wow, she's offering that service for a free masterclass. So how many masterclasses did I attend of yours before I actually joined one of your coaching programs? I think it was like 100 or something. Every free masterclass for Naima B. Robert, I'm like, check, I'm putting my name in because I'm going to learn something new. I'm there.
Yeah.
So, and it's a great way to connect. And I think it's a great way people don't realize that as a reader, that you can connect with those people who you want to learn from, but you're kind of like, maybe your cash is tight. Maybe you're just not sure yet about the investment or time and place.
Yes.
So I think those are great resources.
Exactly. I'll give an example of Zakia, our favorite, mashallah, here again.
Right.
So you can see she's running a creative writing prompts masterclass. This, my dear friends, is a lead magnet. It's a list builder. Okay, so when you sign up for that free class, whoever you're signing up for, mashallah, you're helping them build their list. Don't be one of those people who just signs up for other people's lists. Start building your own. Okay, so that's what I have to say to everybody, inshallah. Okay, so just for the newbies who may not be clear as to how this works, right? Remember the page that you came to in order to sign up for the summit? That would have been the landing page. All right, that's the page where all the information about the freebie is, or whatever that freebie is, right? Whether it's a download, whether it's a challenge, whether it's a free class, whether it's a summit, it will be on one page. All the information about that activity or that product, right? That downloadable. You are going to then put your details in there, right? So when you're creating your own, you need a landing page, okay, which means that you need an email host. Tumkeen, typically this is one of those areas that really flummoxes a lot of our clients, because they came in to write a book and they never thought they'd have to do any tech. Give us the scoop.
Well, I have Google on one window and YouTube on one window for myself all the time when it comes to these things that I don't understand. So when Naima B. Robert first told me about a lead magnet, I nodded my head along and I said, sure, I know what that means. And then I Googled it. And sure enough, you will find go-to videos, how-to videos, people who will walk you, talk you through everything. And they're really useful. I mean, the whole self-publishing process for myself as well. We used to have two windows open, me and my daughter, all the time, and we would just search it up and there was ways of navigating it. So it's absolutely accessible, all the information.
Yeah, it's very, very doable. And don't get intimidated, okay, by the tech or any of that. That's the key. Don't get intimidated. Give yourself grace. Give yourself the time to kind of work through it, and you'll get there. So that's why I want to say that. So what you then eventually share after you've created the landing page and you have the email set up, if you want more details of this, you'll need to get in touch. We have like a whole course on this, right? However, when you've created the landing page and it's all set up, that landing page has a link. And that is the link that you share when you want people to download your thing, whatever your thing is. So you put it on your website. If you do any guest posts or guest blogs on anyone else's platform, you invite people to get your free thing. You can have pop-ups on your blog or your website. Pop-ups are less popular now than they used to be, but they're still a thing, right? I think because a lot of pop-up blockers now are very, very common. Back in the day, they weren't so much, but still, they're still there. They still work. On Facebook, you can put a direct link, tell people what it is, what your free thing is, invite them to take it. Yeah, give it to them, like offer it to them. Here you go, guys. I've got a free link to my chapter. I've got a free preview of my book. I'm doing a masterclass next weekend. I have a virtual retreat. I have a Facebook group where we're doing a challenge, whatever the case may be. That link that you share is the link to your landing page. You can put that on Facebook in a direct link. You can put it in Twitter in a direct link. You can also add it to your YouTube description and as a card on your videos. On Instagram, you'll need to put the link in the bio, but in Instagram stories, you can put a direct link. And anytime you do interviews, podcast episodes, always direct people to that link. Don't tell them, follow me on Facebook, follow me on Instagram. That's the stuff I hate, because that doesn't help you. You want them to start consuming your content and you want to bring them into the party, into your house as soon as you can. Tumkeen, what do you say about this?
Yes. And then which something I lack it in, but I'm going to definitely be working on is once they're at the party, offer them things like drink and food and entertainment because once they're at the house and if the house is all empty and deserted, and you got nothing going on in there, the party's gets very dry. And so meaning that analogy, meaning that be continuously supporting your email list.
I love the way you said that. I think that's really useful to people. Keep supporting your email list, right? So say you have 20 people on your mailing list, right? You put out an offer, you're just starting out, You managed to get 25 people to sign up. Now, when you hear me or other people talking about 20,000, 20K mailing lists and stuff, you think, oh, 25 people, that's nothing. I remember Amy Porterfield, though, sharing this perspective. When was the last time you had 25 people in your house? For most of us, well, maybe not most of us, but for many of us, it was quite a while ago, especially 25 people who are strangers, who are not family, not necessarily even friends. So 25 people, they're worth looking after because they have expressed confidence in you that being in your party is not going to be a waste of their time. They're going to benefit from it, and they may even enjoy the experience, right? So they're kind of giving you grace and giving you the benefit of the doubt. So best thing to do is, in your head, this is exactly what Tumkeen is talking about, because I think it came up in one of our coaching sessions where I said it's like Facebook, Instagram, and social media is like Glastonbury, right? It's like some big festival somewhere. Think about the biggest festival in your town or your city. It's a festival happening. Everyone's there, right? Everyone's there. Anyone is there. They're doing their thing. You now, if you try to speak to the people at the festival, right, and tell them about your thing and give them the experience that you want them to have in that festival, you're not going to be able to reach most of the people because there's so many distractions. There's so many other things for them to be doing. There's so many other stalls for them to be visiting. It's a lot. You're competing with a lot. But what if you could get a portion of the people from that festival to come home to a party at your house, where you're going to do things your way. You're going to feed them the food that you want to feed them. The decor is what you want it to be, and you're going to give them the experience that you want them to have. Now, will you be able to attract everyone from that big festival to your house party? No, but that's not the point. The point is that the people who want the experience that you're offering, they will come to your house and come to your house party. So now, as Tumkeen said, when people have opted into your mailing list, your job is now to look after them, is to nurture them, is to continue to build that trust, okay? To continue to make it worth their while to be on your list. Now, I know I'm talking like a marketer here because, I am a marketer, but there is a why to all of this. As authors, especially as Muslimah authors, most of us came into this game because we had something to share. We wanted to serve. We wanted to be of benefit to the people, right?
Right.
So one of the main ways that we are hoping to share and to serve is through our book, right? That's why we took the time to write the book, because we thought that it was worth our while to write the book. But if we expect that to be the only way that we serve, we lessen our impact because we haven't built trust with people beforehand. We haven't been serving people beforehand, right? We haven't been building relationships and networks and respect and trust and kind of a relationship. We've not been building a relationship. Right. So it's like people that you don't know, you're not in a relationship, maybe a like nodding acquaintance, and all of a sudden you've got a book for $9.99 or $15.99 or £20 or £25, and you're like, here you go, take this. And they're like, I don't even know you. Like, like, why would I buy your book? Hello? Whereas if these are people we have a relationship with, who have been getting benefit from us, who now they know a little bit about who we are, what we stand for, they like who we are, what we stand for, they've benefited from us, whether it's a free class, whether it's a challenge, whether it was a free ebook or whatever, in their heads, you are a valuable person. You say valuable things. So when you have a book now, it's like, no brainer. Of course I'm buying that book. I've been on the sisters list for 6 months, for a year, and I've changed. I've benefited. I've learned. I've been inspired, whatever your thing is. So of course I'm going to get even more of that by getting the book. Does that make sense, Tumkeen?
Yeah, it absolutely makes sense. And it also tells the reader that this person is not just invested in selling me a book, but this person is invested in me as a reader. So it's almost like, and then I've seen readers who are invested in your success as well as a writer. So when your book does come out, they're like, sis, how can I help you? How can I support you? And then they're sending your information now to their people. And so it's a great relationship to build, and based on trust, and it's based on something sincere. It's not someone you want to make a deep-rooted, sincere connection with your reader, because they'll stick with you then. You don't want the readers who are looking for the free thing and then they leave right after. You want them to stay for the party. I promise you'll have fun.
100%, 100%. So I think the final question, guys, really is, what method will you use? That's what you need to think for yourself. Which method will you use to build your list? I do not mince my words about this, and I make no bones about this. If you have a product or a service to offer and you are online, your online presence should be building something that is going to be of benefit to you offering your product or service, right? So many people get sucked into using social media just as a way to just express or show things or just have a presence. Your presence needs to be building something for you. That time that you invest in creating posts and curating your pictures and curating your feed and that kind of thing, it shouldn't just be for the sake of the gram, just to look good. It should be helping you to build what you need for your bigger impact. So that's my word on that for everyone, inshallah. And Tumkeen, thank you so much for co-hosting with me. Do you want to add to anything before we let these good people go?
Yeah, I just was going to say that, work with intention, whether you're a writer and whether you're marketing yourself, always have this intention in yourself that what is it that you're trying to achieve. If you just want the likes and shares, then social media is great for you. But if you want to be an authentic writer, an authentic author, and you want to be taken seriously, then take yourself seriously and put in the time and effort to invest in that email list. And inshallah, make dua as well. And inshallah, Allah will put barakah in that, and you'll feel more authentic connections in that, inshallah.
100%. Couldn't have said it better myself, mashallah. And if you guys are interested in more of these types of trainings, then the first thing you need to do definitely is to join the Muslimah Writers Academy, which is been opened up. We've opened up the doors for free. So we have trainings like this in there. And if you want a higher level of support and networking, then you can always join us in the Amplify Academy, or the Amplify Mastermind, which is for authors who want to build their author careers, inshallah. Links will be in the description. If not, send me a DM and let me know. Just say Amplify or Academy, whichever one suits you, inshallah. Make sure you follow Sister Tumkeen on all the platforms. And if you haven't not yet subscribed to the channel, do so now. Like this video, share it with somebody else who needs to hear this, and we'll see you in the next session. Jazakallah khairan. Wassalam.